Hey guys, welcome back to the Dargon Gaming Squad channel. Tonight we have a quick skim for you.
So hello, today's skim will be about something I like to call alignment locking. I'm not sure if that's something I made up or I saw it somewhere. I don't remember. But essentially, I decided I wanted to play an in-person game. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I found a nice little group with a really cool DM. He knows so much about D&D. I might be okay at DMing, but his knowledge of D&D is amazing. He gave me a few books free that would help kind of lead me through, since I want to learn more about this world, even though I have a homebrew world. It's still, always good to expand your knowledge. But we and him actually came on a disagreement of something, and that was alignment locking. And basically, even though he follows the D&D game a lot, world and lore, he kind of makes his own character classes or changes them a little bit. And one of them was the Asmar. And I wanted to create a neutral Asmar. He would still technically be good, but the reasons that he'd be doing some of these good things were kind of a little hazy on the line. And he basically said I couldn't do it because Asmars could not be any other alignment other than what their god would allow, or else he would take away basically all your player abilities, all your class abilities. And I thought that was kind of a harsh penalty to place on somebody for just trying to make an alignment they wanted to play as for their character. So Chris, since you're more used to playing as a player, what is your view on something like that?
Well, my first reaction to that specific example is that it doesn't allow for any gods that aren't good. And we have gods of all alignments in this game. So, what if you wanted to follow a god that was evil or a god that was, something other than good?
Mm-hmm.
And he's immediately saying you can't follow any of those gods, which seems awful limiting and closed-minded for a
It
game
does.
wide open.
I mean, I can see why for the Asmar, at least, because supposedly they are directly related to the god, to the celestial, the good ones, especially in his realm. And I guess that makes sense for that aspect, because technically that's where they gain, that's their parents. But just because I stopped listening to my dad, does that mean automatically all my power of a person's gone? And then again, I can also see from the other side that I am an angel, so maybe all my energy and my power does just come directly from the religion, the gods. But then I also brought up, then we went to something deeper, and this would be something that's different. We went to paladins, and he said that there is no such thing as a evil paladin other than like the oath breakers, which is and one of the other unearthed arcana ones, but they technically don't follow God and get any powers anymore. And I thought that was a really weird, because wouldn't other gods with neutral or evil alignments have paladins? What, only good paladins can heal, evil paladins can't?
Right. Yeah, that doesn't track for me. And I feel like somebody else brought this up before too. It talked about playing evil paladins and how interesting that would be. And maybe it's not a common trope, but like, isn't that the point sometimes, to break out of the common tropes and do something a little bit different? So I kind of feel like he's penalizing you for, well, maybe he has a point in this particular case because of that Asmar and where they're supposed to be from. But at the same time, I feel like in a way he's kind of penalizing the player for being creative.
Yeah.
And, we need to keep, some people really want to think outside the box with their characters and be special snowflakes and, do different things. And I think it's kind of important to let people do that. So I guess in this case, he may have a good reason for it. But then when you look at it as like a paladin, I think he's really going off the, I'd love to hear what other people think. We'd love to hear your comments on this because, I'm not a real seasoned player either. I haven't been playing all that long, but it does seem to me that that's kind of penalizing you for being creative. And like, there should be room for an equal knighthood. Why not?
I also brought up, I was trying to negotiate with him when something I'd love, especially when my players try to do with me, when it's like something that I was kind of like, I don't know. If you give me a good reason, I was just telling him, like, as an Asmar, even though I get my power from divinity, that's usually a good alignment, can I get my power from divinity of another alignment, just as a cleric or a paladin would? And I don't see any reason why I wouldn't really be able to achieve that.
Right.
And actually, something that's really fun. I was thinking of something. I want to see somebody play a paladin that worships the monodrones, because I think that'd be amazing. But if you don't know what that is, Chrissy, it's the law. I just started watching a bunch of D&D videos. It's like the lawful, just a lawful neutral plane, and just a whole bunch of these clockwork, almost monsters that always follow a very basic and fundamental mathematical universe. They're really cool, and I want to play with them one day. But something I also want to bring up too, he said that it would make me overpowered if I tried playing originally something that's supposed to be a good alignment and change alignment to evil or neutral, because he said that would give me way too much leeway. And I think it's something I'm hit with the DMs directly towards you guys. If you guys are afraid of that, you really have to ask them, what are they going to follow as neutral? So obviously a paladin still has to get their powers from a god.
Right.
It's the divinity, essentially, other than I think the Oathbreakers technically don't, and the Revenge ones do not. But all the other ones really do, or clerics, they all get their powers from exterior source. So if you want to still keep it where they're not just basically doing whatever the heck they want,
Right.
being able to run amok, is that you can play stipulations that the god would have, and they would have certain things. So even though a neutral god may not have a whole lot of rules for some things, they still might have to follow a certain alignment that they think within themselves. Like maybe they have a thing against killing babies and taking away people's free will. You should just be able to be neutral, though. And if your character's just running crazy, maybe he might get in trouble for that.
Right. Or I could even see where the cleric goes to pray and form this spell from their divine power, and it fails.
Yeah, you can kind of, that'd be a good role-playing experience too.
Maybe it fails because your god's become displeased with you, and he doesn't like what you're doing, or he doesn't think you're using this for the right purpose. So I mean, it seems to me that if a GM was afraid of that, I don't really see how your alignment can cause you to be overpowered or underpowered or anything. And
right.
I know there's a lot of people out there who just ignore alignment. So, I don't see how that plays into it. What it seems to me to be overpowered or underpowered, you would have to, really bump your stats up. How could you be overpowered just because of your alignment? I don't follow that at all. So again, if anybody has a way to enlighten us on why alignment would have anything to do with your power, that would be good to hear about. Because to me, it seems like alignment has more to do with your own moral compass. That's all that's about. I guess he's trying to say that it means that you could do things on either spectrum, but that has nothing to do with whether you succeed in those things or not. So
yeah, it's true.
I don't follow that argument at all. So, yeah.
But one thing also I don't want to hit though here either is that alignment locking, as opposed to if you're trying to run a good campaign and you have that one odd guy who's trying to play evil guy, maybe not the best idea for him to play evil. Maybe. I understand that totally, but this is just basically hitting the paladin and cleric and race options mark. So please, guys, this is supposed to be just a quick video, just something for you to think about. If you disagree with me, please let me know in the comments. Otherwise, if you enjoyed it, please like, share, subscribe, and join our next video when it comes out. Bye-bye.
We'll see you next time.